Okay, Christina Merkley here with another one of our visual coaching sessions, and I have Deirdre, who's found her way to me. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you have what caught your eye was a recent video I did, which was laid off, but not for long. And Jackie had quite an incredible experience. She was already, by the time she showed up, kind of higher up the emotional scale. Some things had happened, and she was really going on her job search. And then, as you may have seen a footnote in the video, she had landed one. Actually, a recruiter came and found her after that. Wouldn't be nice if. So
Yes.
it's kind of exciting. Yeah, yeah. Tell me a little bit about what's going on. Like I said, we may do that same "wouldn't it be nice if," or there may be another entry place that I think would suit you with what's up with you.
Well, I kind of have the entrepreneur bug, and I've just been doing a lot of research, joined a mastermind group. As long as I can remember, I wanted to do the entrepreneur thing, but I think the fear got in the way. Now I'm a little bit more like I can do this. I've been laid off at least 3 or 4 times.
Mm.
And so the corporate environment is not conducive for me anymore. I just want to do my own thing.
You're done. Yeah.
And then I have, my mom who is up in age and would like to spend time with her. So I kind of, if I could, maybe I've just been brainstorming, maybe I could, find something part-time and create my own part-time thing until it really grows and takes off. So I'm looking more for a peaceful life. I'm not so much as worried about climbing the corporate ladder. That I'm over it. I mean, that doesn't, do it for me. So
Yeah.
I just do my own thing. Kind of figure out that thing. I'm in the creative sort of world. I've been in education, creative world. So just want to see where life takes me.
That's nice. I want to see where life takes me, and I also can really feel the peaceful. I just want a peaceful life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Entrepreneurial and peaceful don't always go together, but and we could go into that what if. I think we might go more into the fear stuff. That kind of got my attention. Might be a place to play, but I'm curious about form, about it. So when you say entrepreneurial and you're on the creative, Jackie's a graphic designer, that one you watched, and she went internal, so that's obviously a different kind of thing. But has there been a certain it that you've contemplated? Like if you're to do the entrepreneurial, what does that mean, and what area or what form?
I'm kind of thinking, maybe getting into the digital publishing space, as a service, helping small businesses like create ebooks, digital publishing materials, and maybe a little coaching in there. I've been experiencing lately, well, I kind of put it down, the mind mapping. So
That's why you part out how you found your way to me with the visual coaching. Yep, makes sense.
Yeah. So I have always had that creative side. So I really want to bring it out because I think I kind of shut it down for years. And it's like I have been in an office environment. I just don't want to do that anymore. In an office in my home, but really branching out into like maybe developing a YouTube channel or creating courses. So it's kind of an open book right now. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's great. And I'm on my end, and I'll flash a screen soon enough. I'm just kind of going to my digital maps. There's, when you said fear, there's a map in there called Flip It, which is an interesting one, and I could do a little bit of the vision at the top of it. So I may pull that up, but there's your future self is lying out there as well. And over on the YouTube channels that has, I know you only saw the one, but there's like a whole whack of other ones in there. And quite a few I'll do future self because it's just a fast way meeting somebody new to hook them up with the right brain, right? Hook them up with your subconscious. And you can take the future self really literally. I treat them very literally because I know the power of our consciousness. But that might be something to do, is to make that, because that'd be helpful for you if you take to it. It's an ally you can come back to over and over again, because I've got this kind of one shot in the free recorded session here anyway to work with you. Okay. So but the future self, if I help you introduce you to her, she can give you some answers ideally, but she can also be somebody you can continue to go to as you go through this journey. So I'm just kind of weighing future self or flip it. Future self, flip it. I'm kind of, now that I talked out the future self, I'm thinking maybe I want to go there to see what happens, because she can also speak to your resistance, right? Your fears, and to all of it. So, okay, I think I've successfully talked myself into doing the future self with you. Okay, and you're game and open. You don't know what the heck that is. So.
I'm gonna let you decide.
Yeah, that's brave of you. One thing new. I'm just gonna. I'll share this in a sec. I'm just gonna get this ready, and then flash it on the screen for you. Okay. Document. No. Okay, so I got a folder with all these maps, and I'm going to zero in on my future self one for you. There we go. Make this a little bit bigger. Now, let's talk a little bit left brain wise before we go into this. You've got tons of future selves out there, and they're out there at all different timelines, just like you have lots of past selves, right, from all the different moments you've already been through. So you've got all these moments out there, and we could even go into parallel places. But we want to go into like best case scenario. We want to go find that future self of yours who's done something that you really like, right? And that you're pleased by, and these feelings of calm and peace and creativity lie in that world. So I'm just kind of planting that with your consciousness now. I'm going to rattle off a couple of different time options and just know which one lands. You're going to know which one's like, oh yeah, that one. There's short term, which means it's a year or less. There's medium term, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And then longer term is 5 years and beyond. And some people go really beyond, right? They go 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25, 30. Sometimes you even cross the veil and get that perspective. So, yeah. So as I rattled that off quickly, was there any that you kind of went for and kind of felt more than the others?
Well, maybe the 2-year, that keeps coming to mind. So does that make sense?
Yes, if you tell me 2 years out of all those things, I trust that. So yeah, let's do that. It's a little short, but I trust that you're going there. So we're now in 2020, of course. Yeah. So how could I forget that? So 2022, some more twos in there. Is there a particular month? We're in August, end of August right now. Do you want to go right to that month, or is there another month in 2022 that makes sense to you?
Let's go December.
Okay, so the very end, almost into 2023. So that's nice. It gives us a good stretch. Okay, now we're going to do a bit of a guided meditation. And if you've done any of those, don't worry. You don't have to like perform, like see things. You may feel things. You may know. Some people even taste and smell and all that kind of stuff. So when we do this, and you may feel you're completely making it up, and at one level you are, but what you make up is interesting, right? And unique to you. So I always kind of trust where you end up going out of all the places you could go. And it's all in this context of what we've just started with. Um, uh, your, larger right brain is totally tracking our conversation. So it's going to bring you to one that fits this conversation. When I do this, you're welcome to close your eyes. You can look at a spot in the wall or floor or whatever, however you like to focus. And I will be taking a lot of notes. So if your eyes are closed, just know when you open them, there's going to be a boom of notes, and you can just relax because there'll be a recording and there'll also be notes that will be here for your journey, right? But really what's going to go on inside you is much more elaborate and rich than what I can possibly get down on the map, right? It's always a pale replication in a way, but they're good notes to have to kind of have some reminders and some pointers about what your future self, who she is and how she directed you.
Okay.
Okay, so with that said, let's both just kind of shake off our left brain conversation here. And we'll let that kind of go. And we're going to need something that's going to time travel you into the future. Play with me if this sounds odd. I know it's kind of weird.
Okay.
But it might be something mechanical, like, I don't know, a car, a train, a time travel machine, the Back to the Future car, whatever it might be. It might be something organic. I've heard of like rainbows and bubbles and different kinds of animals, carpets, flying carpets, or you might have your own cool thing. So what comes up? Does anything flash when you think about something that could help you travel?
Oh boy. I kind of see an airplane and a car at the
Okay.
same time.
Combine them together.
Okay.
And we'll trust that probably you're going to do some driving on the other side or something. So we'll just write both up here, and your subconscious is going to figure it out for us.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a plane and a car kind of segueing together here. Okay, so just kind of settle in. And again, as you focus inside, you may see this particular plane or this particular car, or you may just kind of sense it, whatever it is. It's a special kind of plane car combo. Just find yourself kind of coming up to it, maybe getting in, seeing which one or how you get into this thing or which one you go into. And maybe there's a driver, or maybe there's some sort of thing that you can program, but let that person or that thing know that, hey, you're going to take me to December 2022, the home of my future self. This is my best case future self who's knows I'm coming and is delighted to be able to have a conversation with me, because she has been in 2020 and she's gone through everything that you're going through, right, with the work stuff and mom stuff and 2020 stuff. So good. So you got yourself in there, you've got it kind of telling it to take you there. And I'll just kind of help prompt this along if it's not already happening. There might be probably a sense of movement and leaving your particular situation where you are. Your little subtle energy body leaves sitting in front of this computer and kind of walks on over to that vehicle, interacts with the driver or the program, and then it starts moving forward. Somehow it knows how to take you here. So just finding yourself moving forward in time.
Okay.
And you're going through, it's 2020, so you're kind of letting go, thank goodness, of this summer, and you're letting go of the moving into the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the heck happened with the American election happened. Life did continue beyond November. And so then it moved, it crossed that line into the 2021 period. And then there was very quickly, it's moving you through those 4 seasons. And then there's another line that crosses into another year. So the world and your life continues even beyond that 2021 into 22. And 22 starts off with, you know, the January season, and then it moves into the early spring, and then it moves into spring, and then it moves into summer. And then there's moves into fall, and then it starts to get, depending on where you are, cooler. And then what do you know, you're coming into the time and place. This is where the future self lies. She's somewhere here, December 2022. So see where the plane, or feel, or whatever it is, where the plane and the car takes you. She's there, and she may be somewhere waiting for you to kind of drive up. So as you start to come in, tell me if you notice anything. You might just feel her, you might see her. I'm curious about any information that you're getting about what's her environment like as you're kind of coming up to where she is. Just let me know any info you're getting.
Well, I kind of see, I'm kind of leaving. I don't know if I'm leaving home, but I'm driving in the car to the airport because I'm,
Ah, that's why there was car and a plane. Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
seems like I'm traveling for work, my business.
Okay, excellent. So so you got that. She's taking you to the airport and you're somehow traveling for your business. Excellent. Maybe you accompanying her on a business trip. So maybe she's already bought you a seat. And so the two of you get on into that airplane and you're able to kind of nestle in and have a conversation with her. She's a busy woman, so this is probably one of the ways that you fit into her schedule. How brilliant of her.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of excited about traveling out of the country because
Ah,
like a goal, I want to start traveling.
okay, excellent. So this plane,
Okay.
notice if you can get a sense of where the plane's going if you're traveling outside of the country. Where is this plane going? You're accompanying her on a trip. What's this trip about?
I'm going to say it's Europe.
Okay, great.
I don't know
Ask
where in
ask her. She's sitting there right with you. So it's like, where are we headed? What does
Europe.
she have to say to you?
Um, wow. Now I kind of see the Eiffel Tower. I think my want is the Netherlands, but I kind of see the Eiffel Tower. So,
Okay, go with that. Excellent. And you get to ask her whatever the heck. Before you get asking her, just take a real look at her. You're sitting next to her. You're able to kind of talk to her. What is she saying? What does she, not even what is she saying, but what does she give off? You know, people have auras to them. And,
confident.
Okay, good. What else do you notice?
She is really put together.
Mm-hmm. How so?
Well, she's just sort of, uh, she's always liked to, you know, love to just shop and dress and things like that, but she's really put together, suited up, nice heels, a nice coat, skirt, which is odd because I'm not a skirt wearer or a heel wearer, but I see this so put together businesswoman. That is what I
Mm-hmm.
see.
Okay, great. And she exudes confidence. And what else would you use to describe her?
And calm.
Ah, interesting.
Uh-huh.
Makes sense given,
Relax.
yes,
Hmm.
calm, relaxed.
Hmm.
What else?
Um, just enjoying, the flight. Just, you know, oh wow, I'm on the airplane and I'm looking out the window, seeing the beauty, just enjoying the beauty.
Mm, excellent. In a way, you're already in there and being her. I love it.
Yes.
So you get to have a conversation with her. So if you have jumped into her body for a second, I'm just going to invite you to kind of sit in the seat next to her. And this is your opportunity to pick her brain. And she knows who you are. And so first off, if it hasn't already happened, just allow her to properly welcome you, because she knows what it's like in 2020. So she's really glad to have you visiting and to be able to guide you and show you the future, right? And you're in a caretaking kind of role, so it's really nice to be someone else to caretake you. You know what I mean? So just really take a moment to receive that, Deirdre. Just really feel it. It's an important moment. And receive that support and love and, however she conveys that to you.
Okay.
And just, thank her for receiving you and taking you on this trip and providing this time to be able to connect.
Okay.
And now that those niceties are happening and maybe the airline crew is bringing some refreshments and stuff so you guys are comfy and you can settle down and have a talk, what do you want to ask her?
Wow. What comes to mind is what took you so long. But
Well, just go with that. Who's saying that? Is she saying that to you or are you saying that to her?
she's saying that to me.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It's like, what took you so long to get on board? Get it on
Mm,
board.
mm, literally get on board. Yeah. Okay, so just receive that. She's get on board. What took you so long? See how you respond to that, right? I mean, you may take it in good nature, or you may be a little defensive, whatever you are, it's okay. Respond back to her. What do you say to that?
Um, well, I really had to get out of my way and let the fear go because there was
Ah,
always that analytical mind of Deirdre who, how is this going to work? I need these things, I've given up the corporate world, so I need these things to survive. So it's really like a faith walk,
ooh, wow.
which I am a woman of faith, but still,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it can be scary.
Of course, of course. See how she responds to that. To, hey, I'm kind of scared.
Well, I can hear a friend of mine saying in my ear, the Lord always provides. So
Mm,
um, that would be I mean, look at you now, you stepped onto it's like, I have to I have to make these steps. So you got on the plane. So you're here and we're going to be arriving at that place. We're on a journey. Am I making sense?
you're totally making sense, and I'm writing it down, and I have goosebumps. So that's always the sign that you're doing fantastically. Good. So it's a dialogue, right? So what do you want to say back? You received that from her. It's okay for you to be in your 2020 consciousness, right? Because she's been through a lot and she's been able to integrate this at a different level. And so it's okay if you're not where she's at, right? There's a gap here. So, just be as honest as possible about where you are and your vulnerabilities to see how she addresses them, right? If you have any yeah buts, ask her your yeah buts. Like, how did you do this? How do I handle this?
Wow. Well, I mean, you decided not to go back to corporate. So you know, how did make money? How did you start out making just basics, living for yourself, paying your bills? What about the health insurance here in America? We've got the health insurance.
Of course. Yeah. Valid questions. So see how she responds.
Okay. Um, well, there are um, resources that, you know, I researched. Speaking of Deirdre, she researched and
Mm-hmm.
talked to people and found um, a way to get the medication she needed, to get um, a health insurance policy, to, be a little bit more frugal so that, she could, um, pay the bills.
Mhm. Okay, so she's telling you there's different programs out there.
While she built the business on the side.
So it's telling you build it on the side.
And then income started coming in from that. Oh, this is good.
You could feel that income coming in, and your nervous system is like, yes, that feels good.
Right.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay, now what do you want to ask her?
Oh boy. Um, hmm. Well, so how did you really grow your business? How did you grow your business on, I know you started out with thinking something smaller, but it's grown bigger than you thought.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you go about, what are the steps you took to grow that business? Or what
Good.
advice can you give?
Very good. Good questions. Yep. Good. See how she responds. She may give you symbols. You may actually hear stuff. Go with whatever happens.
Okay. Well, um, she utilized we're in the 21st century, so she utilized the online tools. Um, she networked. And made business connections.
Okay. Does she have any suggestions for you of where to go or which networks? What did she do? Who did she come in contact with? Anything that she might blitz over to you, kind of give you a sense of?
Well, I'm sorry, I have tears coming out my eyes. Um,
You don't have to say sorry for that. Yeah.
um, well, women's, there
Mm-hmm.
is a group that she got involved with, um, a group of women entrepreneurs, and that was the beginning of her journey.
Okay, cool. Is that locally where you are in 22 or 2020? Was it online?
Yes, local. Well, it was in this year, 2020.
Okay. Yep. So back in 2020, you
Yeah.
connected up with some female women entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And there's an organization there in your area that you connected with.
Well,
Okay.
actually, I should say it's online. Actually,
Uh-huh.
It-
Okay.
you know,
Okay. Excellent. Now, with that information, where does your left brain go? What do you want to ask her?
oh, okay.
You're doing awesome. You're getting
Uh,
lots of interesting, good information.
uh, so, well, I don't know that I can answer this, but so how did you?
You don't have to. She does. You just ask the questions.
So how did you narrow down your niche?
Good question. What guidance did she give you about the niche side of things?
Um, she did some mind mapping.
Mm-hmm.
She worked with a visionary coach.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
She, and I'm not saying this by faith, she got that visionary coaching certification.
Mm-hmm.
Um, think that's all I have right now.
Okay, that's good. There's lots of other ways we can access this, and
Okay.
this is how the information comes. It comes in snippets and stuff, right? And just senses. So you're doing beautifully. Yeah,
Okay.
and the fact that the emotions are happening, it's often multiple things. It can be a relief because of the difference in the vibration, right? And then often it's just sweet, right? It's just nice to connect with her and to be in that world and have this sense of you do get through this time period and it gets into a better feeling place, especially when 2020 there's so much going on that we have a hard time feeling the future and feeling it in a positive way.
Right.
So I trust that those tears are happening. They can come for other reasons too, but that's my guess of what's going on.
I guess I'm right.
Okay, so let's try this at another side. You were naturally doing this. I'm just gonna nudge it even more. We're gonna do. There's a movie. There's an old version and a new version. You may or may not know it, but it's called Freaky Friday, and
No.
it's like a mother-daughter, and they switch bodies. So you have to ask your future self, because it's just good subtle energy permission to say, hey, can I become you for a second? Do you mind if I inhabit your body? See if she's okay for you to do that. And if you've got permission, do you have permission?
I have permission.
Okay, yeah, it was already happening, so I'm sure she was thumbs up on that. So shift your consciousness over from the passenger seat beside her, right? Companion seat, whatever. Just shift over into her seat and literally jump on in there into her body. Feel what it feels like to be her. I can already feel my nervous system calibrating, just going, oh, that feels
Right.
nice.
Right.
So take your time, because that's very powerful to get into her energetic. I want you to feel her body. You're wearing her clothes. You're sitting in that seat on the way to your business trip. Feel into the network of people. Feel into the last 2 years. Feel into your past from this vantage point. Feel into who's on the other side that you're coming into for business wise. Feel into your bank account. Feel into your family situation, your friends. Just really feel into this world and literally soak in it, Deirdre. Like, get it right down to the cellular level. Just like feel what it feels like to be in her cells.
It's nice.
Yeah, yeah. So while you're in here, she's consciousness. You might be able to feel her consciousness in there, but take a look back, because now you're inside here and you're able to look back over these 2 years and just see from this vantage point if you're able to get any more whiffs of information. As you look back over the terrain that was covered. And I'm going to go for another thing here. I'm just going to take you just a little deeper. And you check with your own consciousness and check with hers if it's okay to do this, but just see if we've got permission for you to, in a way, become her. And I'm going to be talking directly to her, because you're her, and you're going to give me answers back as her. In a way, you could think of it like you're channeling her, right? You're her. If you're okay with that, I'm going to proceed.
Okay, proceed.
Okay. Deirdre, you're there in 2022 and you're going to this business trip. You've got your 2020 self sitting next to you. I'm here, a visitor from 2022. I just really thank you for being able to allow us to come along for the ride and ask you some questions. What have I not got yet down that you want to communicate to your past self? You've provided a lot of really great information. The faith walk, the Lord always provides, telling her to research resources. There's an online women's entrepreneur network. There's a lot that she can do with visual thinking stuff to help paint the picture. Please let me know what else, what other messages?
You have to be focused.
Good. Tell me more. What do you want her to do? You want her to be focused? What else?
Wow. Set boundaries and
Is there somebody in particular or something? What's going on with the boundaries? Be specific for her.
Boundaries with your time, kind of watching the time. And this is I learned in my women's group. Watch your time because you can sit and watch TV for 5 hours, and that's not pushing you towards your goal.
Yeah. So use it wisely, huh?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of time there, and don't let it just suck up. Okay.
I would also say stay prayerful
Nice.
because bad days may come, but you know, keep moving forward, looking forward, and
Good.
looking up.
So she's not giving up. What is she doing? What did you do?
Just keep moving.
Okay, excellent.
Don't stop. Just keep moving. Do something a little. If it's a little thing, just do it every day.
Good. Now, are there any people, places, things that you want her to pay attention to?
People, places, or things. Oh wow. People, places, or things.
Just let it come right from her.
Um, well, oh wow. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I'm just checking. I'm just scanning to see if you and I want to talk to. I'm going to talk right to future self, not 2020. 20 self might have got in there with her mind.
Okay.
So future self with 2022 self you.
Mhm.
um, is there anything you want to tell her about specific people? I don't know who's in her life, but is there anybody that you have guidance about, or like talk to so and so, or do this with so and so, or same thing for places or things?
Okay. Keep a good support group, especially with women in business and those close friends, and you know who they are.
Okay, good.
Uh, you know, those are your true friends. So always keep those
Mm-hmm.
people around.
Excellent. Good. Anything she has to say about your mom?
Well, oh my God, now you're gonna really make me cry.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you have to say to 2020 self about your mother?
you're really doing this to really help her as well, even though she's up in age. She's always believed in you. So
Hmm.
you're doing this to help support her as well as you always done, but even in a greater way.
Wow. Yes. Anything else she wants to share about that journey with mom and her later years?
So she doesn't have to worry about her youngest anymore. She's okay.
Okay, your youngest is okay. Excellent. She's reassuring. You're reassuring the 2020 self. Good. Now, I have got 3 big bubbles here, and I've filled 2 of them with your wisdom. And I've got get out of your own way, faith walk, and the Lord always provides. What's the 3rd thing to fill in here? What do you want staring back at her?
But do I want the
Be
2020?
her. Be the 2022 self. And I'm asking the question of the 2022 self. Be her. 2022 self. What do you want me to fill in this bubble?
Um, wow.
What do you want your 2020 self to be staring back on in this map? What do you want to really drill home? What do you want to have her hold on to when she looks at this map, when she needs to look at something to just keep her on point?
You are creating freedom
Hmm.
for yourself, for your family, um, a legacy.
Ooh, yes.
Mhm.
And a legacy for yourself and your family. Beautiful. Thank you, future self. And future self, sometimes you have gifts for these visitors from the past. Do you have a gift? It might be something intangible, it might be something tangible. What's your gift for your earlier self?
Um,
And Deirdre, just be the future self and see what happens. What's the gift?
um, okay, what context are you speaking of gift?
Well, your your visitor from 2020 is going to go back to 2020. And what do you want to give her that she can take back with her?
Um, Compassion
Mm.
and a giving person. I would say a, sort of a teacher.
Mm. Hmm.
Mhm.
So if I'm understanding this right, that your future self, you, the future self, you're there to beam compassion at her back there in 2020, and you recognize she's a giving person, as are you, because you're beaming compassion to her, and that you're a teacher for her.
Mhm.
Now, future self, you've got a future self.
Mhm.
So I want to ask you to just take a moment talking about teachers and giving persons.
Mhm.
If I could ask you to bop out in the future and to zero in on one of your future selves,
Mhm.
and what does she shout down through time to you and to the 2020 self?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is wisdom.
Aha, good. So future self is in there with wisdom. Excellent. Anything else? What else?
And I would also being a teacher as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So now you've got this nice chain of consciousness out there in the future self, the future self, and now we got the 2020 self who's about to go back. Okay, check in, future self. Do you have anything that you want to communicate or get on this board? I'm happy to write your messages or your well wishes down.
Um, Continue to be a giver.
Mm.
Um, oh wow, future self.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wow. And this is the messages to.
Both of them. It could be the 2022 self and the one in 2020.
I would say don't waste any time.
Uh-huh. If they're not wasting time, what are they doing?
They are being intentional. Be intentional.
Okay, good. Excellent. All those little moments add up. Do something with them.
Right.
Be intentional. Okay, good. Good. See if there's anything else you're getting from her or being her as you project it back down to them.
Um, and just all the bad stuff that happened,
Mm-hmm.
it made you who you are. But believe in yourself. Keep God first and believe in yourself.
Okay, good. Made you who you are. Made you who you are. I wish I could write faster. And then, sorry, help me with the other two.
Keep God first.
Excellent.
Um, let's see. I think that being intentional was like the big one. And
Yeah.
don't let me add this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let fear stop you.
Okay, so they
Do
don't
it
let
afraid. Do it afraid.
do it afraid, like just
Okay.
feel the fear and do it anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so we'll just put fear with a cross through. Do it anyways.
Mhm.
And it's okay. Like it's normal to feel fear, right?
Mhm.
So it was a beautiful book that was so um, impactful for me in my own journey 20 something years ago. And I often will say it, Marcia Sintar, I believe is the author's name, feel the fear and do it anyways. It's kind of a classic, right? So it's like, why are we courageous people? Because we're afraid, but we still do it. Like, it's not like you don't have fear, right? So it's
Right,
like, yes, and just don't let it take you out. Like, and to normalize it, that it's
right.
okay to feel fear. There's no shame in that, or you're a weakling or something. Is actually very courageous and very strong to recognize and own the fear and still keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just a little bow to the future self. And that's another ally that you can connect at any time. So tell her, hey, we may be back in touch again. She's a good one for you. So just recognize her now. Glad you've got in touch, and to be continued.
Yeah.
Bring your consciousness back to the 2022 self
Mhm.
and pull your consciousness out so that you're sitting in front of her again, right? You're returning her body to her,
Okay.
and thank her for that, because that's a gift, right? Like, for you to be able to be inside her and feel her and connect to the future self from there, that was all a gift. Plus, she literally gave you a gift too of her compassion and her giving and being a teacher. Both of them are teachers for you, and probably for other people too. Now, the plane's going to come in for landing. Maybe she wants to show you a little bit about what she's doing on her business trip. So just see if there's any of those kind of loose ends that want to be communicated.
Okay. Okay. So we landed. We have a car picking us up at the airport, but it's what's in front of us that we see. We see the city of Paris. We see the Eiffel Tower. I've never been to Paris. I don't know if the airport is near there or not, but we we see what we didn't think was possible.
Yeah. So just to take a moment to really soak that in and feel that, be there in Paris, see the Eiffel Tower, see all this possibility, see what she's doing, watch her do her thing. And when you're ready, see how you're going to get back home. Maybe the car will take you back home, knowing that you can come and connect with her at any time and have phone calls and telepathy and stuff with her. But see if there's anything. How do you get back home to 2020? Do you do it from here, or where do you do it from?
Um, I think I kind of see her standing sort of in front, like on her way, and she's giving me a wave, letting me know it's okay. Um, and she wanted me to take this journey with her. Now I can go back to 2020 and set the course.
Okay, excellent. Good. So she's going to continue along her way there. She's got some business to attend to. She's glad you've come.
Mhm.
And now you can, from having this connection with her, you can return back to your own time,
Mhm.
having her and your other future self there as allies. Good. So returning yourself to that vehicle,
Yeah.
and the driver, saying, hey, have a good trip. Let me take you back. Like, how nice that it's brought you here and it's also going to take you back.
Mhm.
So find the reverse happening
Mhm.
where you were there in 2022. Now we're going to go backwards in time. So now you're pointed the other direction. You're headed back towards 2021. And all the different seasons are passing, and you're going from 2022 to 2021. And you're crossing the line from 21 back into 20. And then you're going through those reverse seasons and getting yourself back in there. Did I do it right? 21, 20, yes. And then we're going back into the summertime. You're going to go through that election period, maybe getting a little whiff of what happens. And then you kind of come back, making your way into the summer, right? Getting yourself back here. I think you've already done it nicely, brought yourself back. Drivers dropped you off. Here you are back home, having come back from a trip. You've opened your eyes. Obviously, I got lots of different notes here. And that, my dear, is the future self, right? Of tapping in there and feeling that one out there. The reason why, like I said, I opted to do that out of the many things we could do, it gives you a different vibrational feel, right? A different frequency to it all, a nice juxtaposition between what's going on
Mhm.
to a different world out there. So that becomes a touchstone. And to get you to actually inhabit her and embody her too makes it even stronger. So remember that you can do that at any time. You were very good throughout this all. You have, that must come from your faith. You just really have ability to connect with yourself and with these higher aspects of yourself and the support you have behind you. So I would just keep doing that, right? Remember to keep becoming her. You can also go become the future self too. So you can feel that gradation of energy of entrepreneur, businesswoman, teacher, online world, travel, right? That becomes more familiar.
Mhm.
Also, you can use them for practicalities like you just did. One of the things on the, there's a page on my website, in addition to this free one-to-one, I do process groups, ongoing process groups. And so I'll follow up with you afterwards to make sure you have this link. But there's several different visual tools on that page.
Okay.
Future Self is one of them, but there's an action plan on there.
Mhm.
So that will be interesting for you to start building, right? You've got some good information here from your two future selves. Take some of that info and start building that action plan. And as you find your way to that women's entrepreneur group, they're probably going to be very solid into that stuff as well. So you're going to have some good visual tools that can help you do the planning and visioning that they will inevitably help you do to help zero in on what your it is and start building it.
Okay.
And also take a look around that site, and you're welcome to come to a process group at any time. I run them, they're for free. They're every 10 days or so.
Okay.
There's a whole wealth of ones you can review the recordings of, or just come sometime. There's another place that you can have community with people who are also doing the visual and the right brain techniques to become their next selves. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, so that's what comes to mind. I know it's quick and I cram a lot, as much as I can in there, but thank you for finding your way
Thank you.
here. Yeah, I will follow up so you've got this map and the
Okay.
other resources I talked about, and just keep going. It's a pleasure to meet and work with you. Give me a closing quote. How are you feeling at this point in time?
I feel really good, and I've always been a visual person, and I think that I understand it more and more now than ever
Yes.
before,
Yeah.
and especially going through this process. So, I mean, I really feel like possibilities are endless.
Good, good, good. I just got goosebumps. So that's like, ooh, some good work has been done. Good. Because it's all about vibration and all about that feeling, right? You got to have that
Right,
sense of possibility to keep going.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like you said, I will attend a process group. I mean, I think you
Yeah.
have
Please do.
to
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just nice to be around other people who are doing their own thing like this,
Yeah.
right? Their own it. Yeah. Okay. Take good care.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye for now. Yeah.
Bye.